So glucocorticoids are among the most prescribed drugs worldwide. They were awarded the Nobel Prize in 1950 after just treating 4 arthritis patients, and 2 years from those patients to the Nobel Prize. And even in the Nobel speech, they said we have to get a grip on the side effects and understand the efficacy, because they're just derivatives of cortisol, which is your diurnal hormone from the adrenal. And so I think it's been a lot of years trying to make a better steroid. And I think what we were fortunate in being able to do is peel away 4 different subactivities and optimize each of those for Duchenne muscular dystrophy. So what most people learn in medical school is how a mechanism of action of any steroid hormone is that it diffuses through the plasma membrane, binds the soluble receptor, dimerizes and goes into the nucleus and hits gene targets, so-called transactivation. That turns out to be mostly side effects. So even what we've learned as mechanism of action of most of glucocorticoids is in fact side effects and not efficacy. Efficacy is, so we've decreased that activity, largely eliminated about 100-fold less transactivation in VBP15 compared to traditional glucocorticoids. Efficacy as far as anti-inflammatory is through transrepression, and that's where the ligand receptor complex binds to predominantly NF-kappa B and other pro-inflammatory proteins and inhibits their activity. So it's an anti-NF-kappa B agent, where NF-kappa B is a sort of canonical pro-inflammatory pathway. And so we've retained that, and not only retained it at equal potency, because we don't have the side effects, we can boost the dose. So our doses are quite a bit higher than glucocorticoids, even though we've retained at equal potency the NF-kappa B. So we may get better anti-inflammatory because of increased dose. Then the 2 other activities are membrane stabilization, where the primary defect in Duchenne is loss of dystrophin, which then causes plasma membrane instability when you contract muscle. Glucocorticoids exacerbate that problem and make the membranes even less stable, whereas VBP15 has a different hydrophilicity profile, so it stabilizes plasma membranes quite impressively compared to glucocorticoids. So that somewhat addresses the primary defect, by at least the primary cellular defect, if not the biochemical defect. Then the last 4th activity is cross-reaction to other steroid hormone receptors. So a lot of ligands of different types of steroid hormones aren't completely specific to the ligand we learned about, like testosterone and the androgen receptor, estrogen and the estrogen receptor, and glucocorticoids and the glucocorticoid receptor. So for example, glucocorticoids cross-react with the mineral corticoid receptor, which alters salt balance, so aldosterone pathway. And glucocorticoids are an agonist, and whereas VBP15 is an antagonist. And antagonists for mineralocorticoid receptors are being developed by others as a primary drug for Duchenne. So we have a potent antagonist that's also is another activity that we think is beneficial. So really we have ended up tweaking 4 different subactivities to make them a customized Duchenne drug. And in many other anti-inflammatory states, they also seem equal or superior to classic glucocorticoids without the side effects.